Welcome to yet another wonderful edition on our channel. We remain Fast GD, your most reliable travel guide, and today we are going to talk about one of the most important events across the African continent, and while doing this, we are going to focus so much on an aspect of it that is very important to us and the world at large. Yes, we'll be looking at top 20 reasons why Nigeria should not take wars to Niger Republic. Remember, both countries are considered twins as their names sound alike. They're also located within the West African bloc. The only reason is that Nigeria is more populous and richer. Both countries are rich. The only difference is that as a French colony, Niger is only allowed to keep less than 25% of its revenues while France gets the rest. These and more are among the many reasons why Nigerians felt the need to oust their democratically elected president Bazoum, a coup d'état that led to the people requesting an end to France's presence in the country. Let us now see credible reason why Nigeria should not take wars to Niger Republic. 1. Economic interdependence. Nigeria and Niger are economically interdependent. Niger relies on Nigeria for trade, investment, and access to the sea. Nigeria relies on Niger for oil and gas. A war between the two countries would damage both economies. Do you know Nigeria also supplies electricity to Niger Republic? 2. Shared security concerns. Nigeria and Niger share security concerns, such as terrorism and cross-border crime. A war between the two countries would make it more difficult to address these concerns. This is because wars create vulnerabilities that makes it easy for more insurgents and terrorists to enter warring territories. 3. Regional stability. A war between Nigeria and Niger would destabilize the region. It would create a power vacuum that could be exploited by terrorist groups and other destabilizing forces. It could also create an entry for more imperialists into the region. 4. International condemnation. A war between Nigeria and Niger would be condemned by the international community. This would damage Nigeria's reputation and make it more difficult to attract foreign investment. Not like the international community cares about how France's presence has been causing more problems in the region. 5. The will of the people. The people of Nigeria and Niger do not want war. They have strong cultural and economic ties, and they see themselves as neighbors and friends. This is very true as over 7 Nigerian states share a very porous border with the Republic of Niger. This is really one strong reason why the war should never happen. 6. The cost of war. War is expensive. Nigeria simply cannot afford to wage a war with Niger, especially at a time when the country is facing economic challenges. Nigeria is deep in debt. Rather than spend the little resources in war, I think would be politically, economically and financially better to invest whatever it has on creating a better society back home. 7. The risk of defeat. Nigeria is not guaranteed to win a war against Niger. Niger has a strong military. This is outside the fact that other Sahara countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea would come up to support Niger in the war. 8. The possibility of escalation. Another reason why a war should not be an option is the possibility of an escalation. A war between Nigeria and Niger could easily escalate into a wider conflict, involving other countries in the region. 9. The risk of humanitarian crisis. A war between Nigeria and Niger would lead to a humanitarian crisis. Millions of people would be displaced, and there would be a shortage of food and medicine. 10. The damage to infrastructure. A war would destroy infrastructure in both countries. This would make it difficult to rebuild and would hamper economic development. 11. The loss of life. War is always costly in terms of human life. A war between Nigeria and Niger would likely result in the deaths of thousands of people. 12. The long-term consequences. The consequences of war would be felt for many years to come. The two countries would be economically weakened, and they would be more vulnerable to terrorism and other threats. 13. The precedent it would set. A war between Nigeria and Niger would set a dangerous precedent. It would show that countries in the region are willing to use force to settle their differences. 14. The impact on Nigeria's image. A war with Niger would damage Nigeria's image as a peaceful and democratic country. It would also make it more difficult to attract foreign investment. 15. The impact on Niger's image. A war with Nigeria would damage Niger's image as a peaceful and stable country. It would also make it more difficult to attract foreign investment. 16. The impact on the relationship between Nigeria and Niger. A war would destroy the relationship between Nigeria and Niger. It would take years, if not decades, to rebuild trust and cooperation. 17. The impact on the region. A war between Nigeria and Niger would destabilize the region. It would make it more difficult to address common challenges, such as terrorism and poverty. 18. The impact on the world. A war between Nigeria and Niger would have a negative impact on the world. It would increase tensions and make it more difficult to address global challenges, such as climate change and pandemics. 19. The principle of non-aggression. War is a violation of the principle of non-aggression. Nigeria is committed to the principle of non-aggression, and it would not go to war with Niger, even if it had a legitimate reason to do so. 20. The decision to go to war as instigated by Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a hasty one. It did not receive the approval of the Senate. Should the president decide to proceed with the war, it might amount to impeachment and internal turmoil in Nigeria. In conclusion, there are many reasons why Nigeria should not wage war with Niger Republic. A war between the two countries would be costly, destabilizing, and counterproductive. It is in the best interests of both countries to maintain peace and cooperation. Now that you've learned these reasons, remember to like and share this channel with your friends, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we post another interesting video. I remain Drake, your favorite host, signing off. Peace.